Good evening. The time is 6 o'clock on June 26, 2025. The regular board meeting of the Vernon Hills Park District Board of Commissioners is called to order. Would those present and able please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beaumont.
Here.
Commissioner Jacobs. Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Vice President Dorhoeffer.
Here.
President Senti.
We technically have to have a motion by you to put me in charge of this.
Okay. Could I have a motion to put Vice President David Dorhoeffer as, my motion?
Actually, if I may, the bylaws state that in the absence of the president, the vice president has authority for the
We're
meeting.
good, then let's just go. All right, first item on the agenda is the omnibus vote agenda. Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and or non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Items in the omnibus vote agenda for this evening are the minutes of the special board meeting dated May 21, 2025, minutes of the closed session dated May 21, 2025, minutes of the special board meeting dated May 22, 2025, minutes of the annual board meeting, May 22, 2025, which have been corrected to reflect that Superintendent Mitchell was appointed as board treasurer and not board secretary. Payables and payroll through June 26, 2025, in the amount of $1,108,037.30. May I have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Dorhoeffer.
Yes. Superintendent Mitchell, are there any changes to the financial reports on file for the period ending May 31, 2025?
No changes.
Thank you very much. At this time, the board would like to hear remarks from the public. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and no board response will be given. Are there any remarks to be heard? That being said, we will going to slightly change our agenda this evening. We're going to move on to new business. Item A, Resolution 6-25, a resolution authorizing participation in the Goodbye Purchasing Cooperative and approving the execution of an interlocal participation agreement. Can I have a motion to approve, to adopt Resolution 6-25?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Dorhoeffer.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the Deer Path Park easement. I'd like to, Matt, would you like to step up to the podium?
Sure, no problem.
If you could just kind of walk us through this before we vote on it?
Yeah, I didn't bring the exhibit with me, I thought it might be up on the screen.
Yeah, let's do a motion first, then discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to approve the new agreement as proposed by the Lake County Public Works.
So motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Matt, it's all you.
All right, thanks for having me. My name's Matt MD. I'm the Assistant Engineering Supervisor at the Lake County Public Works Department. As you guys probably know, Lake County Public Works provides sewer and water service to the village of Vernon Hills. As such, we do have what we refer to as the West Pump Station, located in the Deer Path Park, right next to the Kids Castle Playground. Currently, there are two force mains that pump sewage out of the West Pump Station. It takes sewage in from partially up by the Hawthorne Mall. It all kind of drains down to that West Pump Station. Then it gets pumped over to our treatment plant, which we refer to as the NCT, New Century Town, kind of by the high school over there. So currently we have been experiencing some backups, sewage backups in the village as a result of the limited capacity of the two 16-inch force mains that currently come out of the pump station. What we would like to do is replace both of those force mains, which are also, one was installed in 1972 and the other one was 1989, so they're fairly old force mains. We've seen some degradation in the pipe material and things like that, so they reached their end of their service life basically. So looking to replace those We would like to replace both of those force mains with a 20-inch force main, which will give us increased capacity and limit our sewage overflows that have happened recently. Not last year, but a couple years ago, we did have a couple. We want to upsize one of those 16-inch to a 20-inch to accommodate the larger flows that we're seeing. Basically, the 16-inch, the straw is too small, as like Mark likes to refer to it as my supervisor. The straw is too small, so we got to increase that to a 20-inch force main. One of the force mains actually runs underneath the Kids Castle playground. Our proposal would be to come out of the north side of that pump station between kind of the baseball fields and the path that goes up to the Arbor Theater, and extend those force mains through that park in across the Arbor Theater, down Fairway Drive, if you can follow me, and then along the backside of the high school, where we will cross into the NCT sewage treatment plant over there. So, as a result of us, moving the force mains out from underneath the park, the Kids Castle playground, we want to put them on the north side, like I said, which will avoid any kind of future maintenance underneath the park. So I'm sure that's favorable to you guys. But as a result of that, we do need an easement to construct these force mains and to operate these force mains. The plan would be to award the contract at the August county board. Obviously, it's subject to the county board approval for that contract, but we have received the bids and have been looking at the bids recently. So what we'd like to do is obtain an easement for those two force mains to go in. Once those two force mains are in, our plan is to come back and abrogate or get rid of the easement that goes underneath the Kids Castle playground and return that property and the rights back to the park district. So I'm happy to entertain any questions anybody has.
Any questions?
So we would be granting this easement just for this one particular project, is that right?
Yes, correct. It's just this project, and yeah, just along, like I said, kind of between the baseball fields and like the path that goes into the Arbor Theater area.
Is 20 inches buys us,
It buys us more capacity, yes.
but are we gonna go through this again 50 years from now, or are
Well,
we,
I don't-
because we're built out, we're pretty good?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, the 20-inch will definitely give us more future capacity. You're only, if you think about it, it's only 4 inches bigger, but actually the cross-sectional area of the pipe is a lot larger. It's a lot larger, so.
Deer path walkways are pretty well used. How are we gonna manage if we're, I'm assuming we're gonna trench it?
Yeah, it'll be directionally drilled. There is some open cutting area near the pump station that we have to do,
Okay.
some valves and things like that. So the tricky part with the pump station is it has to be running.
Yep.
We have to have it running, so there's sequencing and things like that of some installing valves and pumping into one force main, and then while we work on the second one, then switching over, pumping into the second one. So there's a complicated scheme there, basically, we gotta do. But the idea would be there would be some open cutting over by the pump station, and then the rest of it would be, we're trying to directionally drill as much. as we
Directionally
can.
drill? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't wanna open up anything more than we
That's
can, yeah.
perfect.
And then in our construction contract too, we also have, supplemental construction fencing, temporary chain link fencing, things like that to keep the public safe and everything. And what our plan would be is to start this work down, on the park area in the winter months. We're gonna award the contract in like September, so hopefully we can get in and out of the park in the wintertime for, it starts back up again in the spring would be our plan.
Assuming you have to get also easements from the village and the
Correct.
school, no problem there?
Correct, yeah, actually not from, currently the force main on the first one, the village, yes. We are in talks with them, and they have a couple little minor tweaks to the exhibits that we are working through with them right now, with Chris over there. And then, there's actually you can picture the tennis courts on the Vernon High School, right between that and like the tree line there.
Yep.
There's an existing easement there that we have the force mains in, but we can't, you can't have two force mains in the same spot as the other two. So there is, on that property just to the north of those tennis courts, there is a 20-foot easement, utility easement that runs along their parking lot. So our plan is to go into that easement.
Perfect.
Just one.
Yeah, Commissioner Robbins.
And you're not touching any of the playground equipment for the kids'
No,
castle?
yeah, our idea is to keep that, and to keep the playground open too, and we have temporary, I'll say, path items too, to keep that walking path. We were out there at the pre-bid meeting, it was like a Wednesday at 10 a.m., and I could tell there was a lot of traffic out there, so we're very sensitive to that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, that doesn't go down until like
January, February, it gets really cold. There's still lots of people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was one of the considerations, hopefully we get in this area in the winter months, and get out of there by the time, it starts picking up again.
Perfect. Any other questions? Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the 2025 District Organization Chart. May I have a motion to approve the chart as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next item is the Village of Vernon Hills request to use Hartman Park. May I have a motion to approve the use of Hartman Park by the Village of Vernon Hills for the annual Night Out, National Night Out event on August 5th?
So motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins. Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next is the 2025 ADA Plan Report. There's no action or discussion needed at this point. So we'll move on to item F, the Carriage Green Playground Purchase Recommendation. May I have a motion to approve the staff recommendation to purchase a new playground for Carriage Green Park from Cuttingham Recreation in the amount of $91,714.81.
So moved.
Second?
Second. Yes.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins. Vice
Yes.
President Dorhofer.
Yes. Item G is the Grosse Pointe Park renovation recommendation. May I have a motion to approve the staff recommendation for the use of fiber cement siding wrap to upgrade the existing restroom?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Yes.
Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes. Now going backwards. There is no board correspondence to be heard this month, and there is no unfinished, or there's one item of unfinished business. May I have a motion to appoint Tressler LLP as the park board attorney?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins. Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes. Next, we'll move on to the podium reports. With that, Finance and HR Superintendent Jessica Mitchell. Jessica? Hello.
Okay, let's see, we'll start with finance. The district has started to receive our property tax payments, and in May, the district received a roughly $558,000, or what is equivalent to 8.42% of the $6,630,000 of 2024 adjusted property tax extension. As of May 31st, the district has $6,429,000 in cash and investments. $3,093,000 is invested in 16 certificates of deposit and treasury bills with various maturing dates over the next 16 months, and $3,330,000 is available for cash flow purposes. All excess cash is invested in Wintrust Money Market Fund at 4.48%, or at money market with investment brokers with rates between 3.4 to 4%. In May, capital expenditures were $133,125. And investment income generated year-to-date for fiscal '25 was $373,553. The preliminary fiscal year-end figures are unaudited and may result in changes based on the auditor's review. Our auditors do come in August, and we tend to tie that up, and typically in October. The operating fund surplus for fiscal '25 is, like I said, unaudited at $282,784. This is compared to what was budgeted for $414,000. We were shy of the budget by $131,816 due to net revenues falling a bit short. The district has implemented changes to improve such outcomes for fiscal '26, and this includes structural makeup with layers of supervision and support, and also monthly allocations that we are practicing to further review the budget each month. The Budget and Appropriation Ordinance 3-25 was filed with Lake County after the May board meeting on May 27th. The district's website also has been updated. The district received our Hartman final grant reimbursement from IDNR in the amount of $283,250. I attended a Paderma Health Program meeting on June 17th that highlighted Paderma rates. Consideration of potential changes and opportunity to provide feedback was offered. There were 2 documents that were enclosed in your board packet that provided additional information. Areas to note include that our membership term for Paderma's Health Program runs through June 1st, 2027. Membership automatically renews for 3 years unless we notify Paderma 120 days in advance and a resolution is received by February 1st, 2027. For the most recent 5-year period, Paderma rates increased an average of 4.2% for PPO coverage and 5% for HMO. The national average has been 7.6% increase for PPO and 7.7% increase for HMO. So they are a little bit under the national average. The last thing I will report on is the commencement of the HRIS payroll time and attendance software with Paycom is underway for the administrative department. The transition includes a several-week process of setup and training that we kicked off with, and we are set on track to have our first payroll hopefully be in October. And that concludes my report unless there's any questions I can answer.
Any questions for Jessica? Commissioner Robbins?
Just a question. Did you say that we have a 3-year agreement with Paderma?
We do. The term is for 3 years.
Okay.
We're currently in the middle of it, and that would expire June 1st, 2027, and that's specific to our health coverage.
And are the rates locked in, or we just go by
The
what?
rates are, they are determined by Paderma for the pool, the membership pool, so there isn't much that we can, well, there is what we can do. So by me attending the meeting that we had earlier this month, they give us the opportunity to have input. They have different discussions and questions like, do you think that we should include this in coverage? Certain things like a weight loss drug, should that be considered something that they include? Maybe if they removed it and enough members voted to remove it, then it could bring the rates down. So those were like an example of the different discussions that we have, and the rates have not yet been decided for the following year.
And do they look at the ages of the participants in the plan?
I would assume that they take all of that into consideration. A lot of that with HIPAA, there's information that's beyond us and what we can, discuss when we're sitting in those meetings, but they have access to information.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Jessica. Next, Recreation Superintendent Tom Ritter. Tom?
Good evening. Happy Thursday evening. A lot of events take place this time of year, so a little thank you to those who came out to our craft beer tasting on May 31st. It was like the perfect scenario. It is pouring out.
Caught my eye too when I
Holy
was
cow.
sitting there, it's sunny and.
Sun's out, it's raining. Apologize. But yeah, our craft beer event on May 31st was perfect weather, great turnout, just a nice mixture of activities. This year, just to change it up a little bit, Rachel had a line dancing group come out with a DJ, and they drew a lot of people to the event. There was a lot of dancing going on. There was a lot of games being played. It was just a really nice event. So we had over 200 people, which was probably the second highest attendance we've had in the years that we've done it. So thank you to everybody who volunteered, for all the vendors, everybody. It was a really nice day. Tomorrow night is our first park party, something we're doing a little bit different this year. We're going to host 2 park parties this summer. So tomorrow night, June 27th, we'll have pizza and an ice cream food truck coming out. The pizza is from Curbside Pizza and Rainbow Cone. A lot of people have heard of them. Will bring their truck out. We're going to have a high school band called Insurgency playing. We're going to have some games taking place as well. So just be a nice night in the park, playground, everything going on. It's all free. Everybody's welcome to attend. And to complement that event, it also happens to be our first movie in the park night. So as that event goes from about 6 to 8, as everything starts to wind down, if people want to stick around and shift their seating to the grass area by the big inflatable screen, we're going to show Monsters University at dusk. And this time of year, it's probably our latest start. I think it starts about 8:45 or so, it'll be a little bit later night. So a lot going on over at the Warrington Park area of Deer Path tomorrow night. The second one we're going to be hosting will be on July 10th. at Hawthorne Melody Park. Or wait, I'm sorry, I've got two different things going on here. Da-da-da. Yeah, the second park party will be at Hawthorne Melody Park on July 10th, and on July 25th will be our second movie in the park at Deer Path, which is the movie It. At the Turtle Creek Water Park, we always show a couple of flick and float movies in the pool after hours. Unfortunately, the one that we held this month was rained out, so we moved it a week later, and it once again had rain. So the good news is that you can go to the park and see a movie tomorrow, or July 16th is only a couple weeks away. We'll be hosting our next flick and float at the water park. And that movie will be Megamind. And again, those movies, we open the doors at 7:30 for our flick and floats, about a half hour after the facility closes. And people can free swim until the movie starts. It's $5 admission for that one. For the fourth year now, we will be attending Vernon Hills Days with our wine tasting event. Really locked in last year when we got a nice evening slot on a Saturday where there's a nice turnout. So again, this is sponsored by Liquor Barn. They bring out a variety of wines. You just pay for the samples you have. Just another nice amenity added to Vernon Hills Days that we can contribute to that event. So it's from 4 to 7 p.m. and tastings are $3 or $10 for $25. The first 100 people that attend this event, that's something new we're doing. We'll be getting a free tasting glass, which is sponsored by Vernon Hills Bank and Trust. Toys from the Attic is just a spin on the name. That is the vintage games that we bring out a couple times a year. On Saturday, July 26th at the Sullivan Center from 1 to 4. The Duff Swain will bring out a variety of vintage and nostalgic games for people to play from the past. Usually brings out a few new games as well. It's $5 admission, and the only thing we remind people is if you're gonna bring a child who's under the age of 10, then the parent needs to stick around and stay with them. Over 10, you can be dropped off. That same day, July 26th, we'll be hosting our new adult night out at Turtle Creek Water Park. So for that event, we will have a food truck, Uncle Cam's Sandwiches. Lazy Dog will be there serving their craft beers and seltzers. We'll have a DJ, and kind of like we did back in the day at Vernon Hills Days, we're going to be doing a hole-in-one contest. We'll be hitting the wiffle ball, golf ball into the pool. So it'll be a nice twist as well. So it's $15 admission. That event begins at 6 p.m. Tickets are currently available. Again, that is on July 26th. And then this is usually the annual time I give you all the lowdown on RibFest. So August 15th and 16th will be our 14th annual Little Bear RibFest. We are excited to be bringing Country Night on Friday night. We did that once a long time ago, and it rained, so it's kind of hard to measure the success, but we're really thinking this is going to be a busy night. We have a Chris Stapleton tribute coming out on Friday night to be the main featured act, with an opening band called Nashville Electric Company. And then Saturday we'll do our traditional blues bands. The lineup for Saturday will be Dave Weld and the Imperial Flames. Sean Holt and the Teardrops is a returning act, and our headliner on Saturday will be John Primer and the Real Deal Blues Band. We will have 6 rib vendors, which to us is the perfect number. There's years we've had 4, and the lines are excessively long. Really don't have room for more than 6, but 6 is perfect. We will have Big Ed's Barbecue, Full Slab Smokehouse, Brothers Barbecue, Real Urban Barbecue, who is right here in town. For a while, they did not have the equipment to do festivals. They have the equipment again, so we're really excited to have them back this year. Smokin' on 45 Barbecue and Booney Mac. Admission to this day is still only $5, so it's a great value to come out to RibFest every year. And this year we're doing something a little different. We're gonna pre-sell shirts, our RibFest shirts. We have a new look. And from July 7th to 23rd, we're gonna use the Lakeview Fitness Center's merchandise page to sell those shirts. And they can be picked up either at the Sullivan Center or RibFest. It's just a chance to get them in advance instead of buying them the night of. And we just had our 15th annual, I can't believe it's been 15 years, Chicago Cup High School Lacrosse Tournament over at the Vernon Hills Athletic Complex. Thank you to the high school for letting us use some of their space. We use mainly village space, which is great, but the high school is always supportive of letting us be out there as well. That was June 9th through 11th, and we had more than 50 college coaches come out to recruit kids. So it's a really nice thing. Sorry, this is a longer report than I usually have. a lot going on. Under the programming, I want to discuss, just so everybody knows, I don't know how they wouldn't know this now, but Turtle Creek Water Park is fully open for the summer. Just to clarify for some people, the spray ground is an amenity within the facility. So if you're paying to go in or you have a pass, it's a part of the facility, it's not separate. The only time it's separate will be at the end of the season when the facility closes. If you purchase a splash pass for that extra $20, you can go unlimited times through August and September to the spray park instead of paying the $6 admission. So it's a great value if you get that on your pass. If not, again, it's still gonna be available. And I just remind everybody, if you purchase a pass, it pays for itself in 6 visits. So it really is a good value to buy a Turtle Creek Water Park pass. We're open daily from 10:30 to 7, weekends 11 to 7. The only real modification to that is on the 4th of July, our hours are noon to 5. Pass sales for the water park as of June 19th, we had sold 1,365 passes. Last year at this time, we were at 1,333, so just about a 2% increase, but it's nice to see an increase. Revenue is up about 11%. I think that's a combination of both the sales and the fact that we raised our fees a little bit this year. So, a thank you to Hawthorne School District 73 for allowing us to use their elementary North School as a gathering site and rain location for our camps. Obviously, we use Sullivan Center, a lot of our own parks, but it's very valuable to be able to go over there on rainy days with the kids. We have about 250 kids in camp each week at multiple locations, and we are in week 3 out of 8 right now. Summer's going by really fast. We have 2 walking events that are free coming up. These tend to be pretty popular. On July 23rd and August 6th, they're both Wednesdays, from 6 to 7 p.m. at Turtle Creek Water Park. We do that resistance walk. If you want to come in and walk against the flow of the lazy river, people really like to do that, something a little bit different. So we're doing that twice this summer, again, July 23rd and August 6th, from 6 to 7. You can just show up, it's free. And finally, I want to thank Mary Sullivan from our parks team for installing a pollinator garden over at Peterson Park. It was a grant we received from the DNR, and part of the plan was to do that in conjunction with students. But it rained out and it was right near the end of the school year. They said no harm, no foul, it's okay. So Mary ended up doing the installation. So hopefully next summer, we'll start to see the results of that plan. So that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Did you do that again? I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Any questions for Tom?
A lot to advertise.
Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda, Facility Manager Lacey Marinenko.
Good evening. Memberships are holding steady at Lakeview Fitness with 1,328 monthly and annual members. This is a slight seasonal decline, which is to be expected. We have a lot of members that place their memberships on hold over the summer. But we did sell 51 new memberships in May, and then we had 5-day passes that led to 8 membership conversions, and our referral program has brought in 12 new members to date. The facility ended the fiscal year with a strong surplus of $199,297, and personal training had an exceptional year. They went above expectations by about $25,700. So this is bringing our personal training program back to pre-COVID numbers. So that's exciting to see. We have our Lakeview Fitness annual maintenance scheduled for July 28th through August 1st. This is when the full facility will be closed for a deep clean and maintenance projects. The pool will remain closed for another week through August 8th. And some of the projects that we're working on are replacing the pool soundboards, lobby painting, we'll be replacing the steam room boiler, we'll be rebuilding the sauna benches and maintaining the walls and the ceiling within the sauna. And then we are working on rewiring the facility sound equipment so we can have some ambient music throughout the facility. We want to thank Mundelein Park District, who is allowing us to use their facility and their pool during our shut time. This is a reciprocal agreement that we have. They use our facility when they shut down, typically once a year as well. And we will have a special group exercise schedule during that time that will be able to use the patio and the parks. So that will be published soon. And then our July Member Appreciation Day will take place on July 3rd, and the facility will be closed for July 4th. Our Member of the Month for July is Larry Watts, who joined the facility as a New Year's resolution in January 2023. He shared in his interview that since he's joined, he has lost 30 pounds and he has experienced a boost in his mood, and despite the fact that he wakes up to go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. So congratulations to Larry Watts. We're excited to have you as our member of the month. A new program that was developed is the Kettlebell Craze Park Tour. So this is a class that is going to bounce around from park to park and explore the parks that we have within Vernon Hills. This will be led by Josh. And then the summer season is kicked off for the Lakeview Running Crew. They will be meeting in July at REI to run along the Des Plaines River Trail. And then they will meet at Whole Foods for their socialization event. The Member Mileage Challenge has taken off with 42 registered for the 500-mile run walk, and the 100-mile swim has 18 registered. We have 4 people that have completed, I believe Nancy is one of them, have completed the first milestone and working towards the next one. I don't believe we haven't had anybody hit the milestone yet for the swim, but they're getting there. The Mighty Kids Triathlon was extremely well received. We have gotten a lot of positive reviews from the survey that went out post-race. We had 94 participants. This is a little bit less than we have experienced over the past few years, but staff are looking at ways to reduce barriers to participation for the upcoming years. And our next date for 2026 is going to be June 6th. For our community outreach, staff attended a pool party that took place at Park Butterfield Apartments on June 20th. They handed out free passes to the fitness center. And then more passes were handed out at the Hawthorne Mall Pride event on June 21st. And lastly, one thing that didn't make it into my report is the retirement of Mary Vandermeer. We're sad to see her go, but excited for her next chapter. Her last day with us will be on June 30th. Mary has spent almost 15 years with the Park District, and we wish her well in her well-deserved retirement. And we're gonna miss her. And that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for Lacey? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, Park Superintendent Mark Fleischman. Mark?
Good evening. So at the end of May, early June, the Parks Department has had numerous trees removed throughout its properties. The trees removed were either dead, leaning, dangerous, or crowding other healthier trees. Some of the locations for the tree removal include Hartman Park, where we got the bad storms last year, Lake Charles Park, where there's a lot of leaning trees trying to get sun, Sullivan Woods, Torrey Pines, Augusta Park pathway cleanup over there, and Stone Fence Park. So with the tree removal, we're happy to announce that we received the Lake County Fall 2025 Fall Native Tree Planting. We were awarded 50 native trees this year to be planted at Lake Charles. And they're actually, last year they were a little bit smaller, but this year we were told we were gonna get 1.5 inch trees.
Good
and
tree.
So what the program really does help is mitigate flooding potential in areas, and since it backs right up to Lake Charles and the park itself is technically considered a flood zone, that's why we were awarded the grant. So this project will be completed this fall. We're not sure exactly on species or where every tree's going yet. We're still working through those details, but 50 trees is 50 trees, so we're really happy about that. In some safety news, every spring the district is required by law to have its fire alarm and sprinkler systems tested. Lakeview Fitness Center and Hartman Park Pavilion have been completed. We're working through a few minor repairs at Lakeview Fitness right now. The rest of the district is scheduled for the end of the month, June 30th. The remaining sites include Park Maintenance Facility, Century Park North, Sullivan Center, and Turtle Creek Water Park. All fire extinguisher inspections and retagging was completed on June 4th. All extinguishers are functional and operating, so staff also inspect them every month just to make sure that they remain that way. In some parks news, Monday, June 16th through Wednesday, June 18th, the Dragon at Kids Castle Park was closed off for repairs. The surfacing of the Dragon was damaged and needed to be fixed, and you see a little ding in there. Kids like to pick at it. You know, when I was a kid, I'd see the car and the streets and I'd pick at it. So, get it. It's just, you know, you gotta shut it down for a few days to get it repaired. And then, as Tom mentioned, we do have a lot of events coming up, so parks and facility staff are really busy helping set up those events, making sure they're great events. We encourage everybody to come attend. So a lot of effort goes into planning, setup, takedown of these events. That's my report for the night, unless there's any questions.
Any questions, Mark? Thank you very much. Next up, Marketing and Communications Manager Cheryl Buman. Cheryl?
Good evening. The fall program guide is actually complete. I just brought it to sent it off to the printer about 5 o'clock tonight. The guide includes all of our sponsors that have supported our district over the past year, in addition to all of our volunteer basketball coaches. Just wanted to do a special call out to a young man from Carmel High School, Killian Hernandez. He can be seen here quite often. He appears and bags all of the donated shoes that we collect near the restrooms. He's here a lot, so we do appreciate all of his help, and we extend our serious thank you to Killian. Our fall program guide is scheduled to be mailed to Vernon Hills residents the week of July 15th. It will also be posted to the website then, and resident registration begins July 22nd, non-resident begins July 29th. We've already touched a little bit on Little Bear Rib Fest. New from last month is we created some new yard signs, double-sided. I think we've about 20 of them. They'll be put out in some parks the week prior, so people will have more notice than our previous yard signs that would say coming this weekend. So those will go out. Rachel and Tom will discuss when those will go out, but I think about a week or so before. Again, the district pages are live. When new information comes, they're updated with the most current information, so check those out regularly. The district's July 4th parade float, I think we mentioned this, will have a Rib Fest theme, calling attention also to our new country music night on August 15th. Our Turtle Creek Water Park Groupon is doing very, very well. I wanted to bring the latest stats as of right before this meeting, but I didn't get a chance to. But on Tuesday of this week, we were up to selling 1,800 Groupons, and over 900 were redeemed. And we've had 2 hot days since then, so I'm sure it's more than that. They're going to be changing their payment schedule. Right now, we get paid on the 1st and 16th, and soon it's going to go to weekly. And that just gets deposited right into our district account. I get notice of what it is and share it with Les. So that's doing well, and we anticipate it doing just as good as the previous years, or maybe even a little bit better. So the bags of barbecue chips have been stamped with a really nice sticker by our front desk staff, so thank you to all of our front desk staff in the district for doing that. 3,000 bags of chips. They're ready for the park commissioners to hand out at the July 4th parade. Our new software that we've been learning and working on is Placer AI. So over the past 2 weeks, various staff have been helping inputting all of our parks, all of our facilities, and some of our larger sponsors into the software, which has just been completed. And now we are going to be having a meeting soon. I believe it will be July 8th, possibly, meeting with our dedicated customer service rep on how to use the software and start implementing it to reach our targeted audiences. So everybody seems really excited. Everybody's very dedicated to learning about this, everybody at the park district. So we look forward to that. I wanted to share with you that our Turtle Swim team has a new logo. I don't know if your board reports are in color, but it's black and green and a little bit of white. It's really nice. And we'll be having some social media posts coming up about the Turtle Swim team. They're doing very well. We have some swimmers there that are always really finishing first and top in their meet. So we're going to be showcasing some of those kids. New to both of our websites, like Fitness and also District, we have accessibility toolbars are on the websites. So when you go to our homepage, you're going to see a little blue circle in the bottom right-hand corner that has like a white stick figure on it. When you click on that, another window opens. And the purpose of this is so certain people who need a little bit extra help or just whatever their abilities may be, they can customize how they see our website and the functionality. So example, they can increase the text if they want. They can change the color contrast if that's something they need. There's screen reader compatibility. So there's a lot a person can do just to make using our websites a little bit more friendly to them. And then lastly, I wanted just to share, our social media is, people really rely on both of the Lakeview Fitness and also the district social media. So I wanted to show you a little bit of some of what the top posts look like and how we're doing overall. So our audience over the past 30 days for the district social media platform has grown 0.9%. So our total audience as of now is 13,586. Our top two, there's so many posts, and I wish I could show you all of them, although I'm sure you follow our social media to see. But over the past months, for our top performing Facebook was craft beer tasting and our Mighty Kids Triathlon. For our district Instagram was the sensory kids. Those are the kids that are brought out to our special events where people with have different abilities. It's mostly, I think, for the autistic children, where they can really experience our events in a friendly way to them. It makes it most appealing. As you can see, some of our, for the district side, on the left side, we've had some reduction in messages and impressions. It is because last month was such a big month on social media. That is the month we had our nature, art, photography, not really photography, it was really their nature art contest where people would submit photos of different art that they thought was nice, and we chose one winner, but really everybody was a winner. It was the opening of Turtle Creek. We had our Earth Day with the Lakes Teacher Appreciation for our child care and also our preschool, so we had a lot going on. Our July campaign is going to be focusing on passive play in our parks. It's also our National Park and Rec July 12th is Unplug Day. So instead of just focusing on one day, we're going to kind of go throughout the month of what you can do in our parks free as a way to just get out and recreate. So that's coming up soon. As far as our Lakeview Fitness website, their audience has grown, and they're at a total of 1,196. And for the most part, we saw increases in everything for them, from their messages received, impressions, engagements, video views. We'll be working on a summer campaign that's going to focus on personal training. Is there any questions for us?
Any questions, sure?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
Cheryl,
Yes.
I didn't understand, you were mentioning something at the beginning of your report on certain incomes that are getting deposited or will get deposited weekly in our bank account.
Right
Can you explain what income were you talking about?
So we have, for the Turtle Creek Water Park, we've done this for a few years, we have a Groupon. And a Groupon is just, it's not ours, it's a service that people individually can buy Groupons. It could be for anything, they offer a lot. We have put our Turtle Creek Water Park as a facility where people can buy a Groupon. So we have it where you can purchase one non-resident admission, get one free. And then we also have one where you can purchase 3 admissions at 50%. So when people buy these through the Groupon, they bring their voucher over to the Turtle Creek Water Park, and our staff scans it. So we only get paid when they bring in their voucher. So we don't get paid for when they're purchased, it's only when they're redeemed. And so once that is redeemed, it goes right into the Groupon's website. Like, we don't do anything on our point. We don't handle money. And they will direct deposit on the 1st and the 15th right now, the money they receive from the redeemed vouchers. And soon, I just got an email, instead of doing it on the 1st and the 15th of each month, they're gonna do it weekly. So we'll be getting weekly deposits. And I get a report on that, and I give that report to Les, and so he's aware of everything.
And they only have the ability to deposit in our account, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Any
sure.
more questions?
Next, Executive Director, Matthew Laporte.
Good evening. A couple updates tonight. Just wanted to provide the board with an update on Grosse Pointe Park renovation project. We have received 50% drawings. Staff had reviewed those, and we're working towards 75%, which will be at a later date. We picked out the fitness stations and the obstacle course equipment. and selected a vendor for that. And we worked with our affiliates to get input on our ball field specifications. You guys tonight talked about the restroom facility, and then we've identified that there's going to be some drainage, especially on a nice night like tonight, near the Ninja Warrior course, so that might add some expenses. We are going to have a cost estimate together here pretty soon from the landscape architect. Happy to report that we received confirmation from the Office of Economic Opportunity, Commerce and Economic Opportunity, about a $240,000 grant that Senator Adrian Johnson sponsored on our behalf for capital improvements. As we work towards our additional capital improvements, capital budget workshops this summer, we'll be seeking the board's input on where to apply those funds. I note in the report that we received grant funds, and that check has arrived for the official closeout of the Hartman Park OSLAC grant. So as Jess alluded to in her report, $283,250 has been received. Congressman Brad Schneider visited Century Park on Friday, June 6th, to take a tour of the CV ditch as it enters Big Bear Lake. We are starting to see some sediment collection due to some degradation of the ditch as it enters the lake. And we also have some severe erosion zones, and he took some time out of his busy schedule to look at all of those. Generally, the lakes are in good condition, but what we're asking for federal EPA funds is to prevent any further pollution of those lakes. So we are studying that problem, and we ask that for some assistance. Turtle Creek Spray Ground, we have issued the final payment of $93,441.61 to Schaefer's Brothers for their general contracting work. All punch list items are resolved. Staff did note that something outside of the scope of the project is the need for a small installation of a concrete path just outside of the entrance gate of the spray ground inside the park to access some of the grass areas that camp groups use. So we'll resolve that after the season. The annual village, which we are a partner with, 4th of July parade and fireworks are upon us. This year, we've talked a lot about the Rib Fest. Well, that's our float. You guys have the barbecue chips to hand out, and the board will wear Rib Fest T-shirts in the float, or in the parade. The parade begins at 9 a.m. and we're asking that you arrive by 8:30 for the staging. We'll have plenty of supporters to join you and fill up the bags of chips that you can distribute. The district does sponsor the Black Watch Marching Band, and as a part of our partnership with the village. Just a reminder to the community that Aspen closes at Deer Path closes at 8:30, and Aspen Drive will also close around that time and not open until approximately 11:30. So Turtle Creek Water Park is delayed that day and will open at noon. In the evening is the fireworks display. District will sponsor the evening entertainment through A to Z Entertainment. That begins at about 7 o'clock, and the fireworks are expected to go off at 9:30. Parking passes for the board will be made available. Rain date for the fireworks is scheduled for July 5th. And at the next meeting, quarterly updates for the district's capital plan and strategic plan. This is for the second quarter, will be provided for the board. And last, I'd like to thank all of the staff for their assistance with our organizational chart that was presented earlier tonight, including the restructure for the Recreation Department. I'd like to acknowledge the efforts by Superintendent Tom Ritter and Recreation Manager Jay Bowman and Recreation Manager Lacey Marinenko for taking on new responsibilities. during the busiest time of the year. I appreciate all of their support of our recreation team in their new roles. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Matthew? Nope. Okay, that being said, we are moving on to Commissioner and Committee reports. There are none to be heard at this, so we will move to Commissioner comments. Commissioner Beaumont. Commissioner Robbins.
I'm good this evening.
I just want to let everyone know that the Park District lost a member of our family. And Pat Erickson, who worked at the Sullivan Center, was just a bright face, a great young man, and we lost him way too early. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and he will shortly be missed. That being said, having addressed all the items on the agenda, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Beaumont,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins, Vice President Dorhofer.
Yes, the time is 6:51. Our regular meeting is now adjourned.